Do you want to create content that will work to build your business each and every single day? Content that will bring you your ideal customers closer to purchasing your products or services? Well, that's exactly what we're going to learn today with our special guest, Trina Little. Rob here from the TubeBuddy team. We're speaking with Trina Little, who is a YouTube strategist with a growing agency helping businesses build their online presence with videos. She has multiple revenue streams and has been recently growing a new revenue stream as a paid speaker. Her agency is so successful that they've already reached their revenue goals for the entire year and have actually stopped taking on new clients, and we're only halfway through the year. Let's talk to Trina Little. Hey Trina, welcome to the show. Super excited that you're here. I know that your business has grown tremendously over the last 18 to 24 months. So why don't you say hello to everybody out there listening and watching us today, and also just tell us a little bit about, the recent business success that you've had.
Mm-hmm. Hi, thank you guys so much for having me. I'm Trina. I'm a YouTube strategist, and I particularly work with entrepreneurs and business owners using YouTube to generate leads. My business, thanks to what we've been going through in the past 18 months, has actually benefited because we are seeing the power that video can really have for businesses, especially since we can't get in person anymore. And so at the beginning of 2021, I had no idea that I was going to be starting a full service agency for entrepreneurs that want to use YouTube and then repurpose their content for other platforms. And so within 6 months, we hit our client goal for the year. We've had to actually close accepting new clients until 2022 because we're just at our max. And it wasn't anything that was even on my radar when we started 2021. And so it just goes to show the power that video is going to continue to have, and the importance of having these business models in mind, because businesses are going to be showing up on YouTube and using YouTube as part of their business strategy.
Amazing. That is exciting. You're having such an amazing year, and congratulations. I know you're a success. We're not even done yet.
Yeah, I know.
Halfway through.
Q4 is a month away. So I know that you're closing clients. So hopefully, your business still keeps on growing even more. So we just heard about your full service agency.
Yes.
But given the name of this show and of this podcast, we really want to hear, what are your different revenue streams outside of, maybe, of course, you have the full service agency. But we'd love to know a little bit more about what are the different ways in which you make money. And then it sounds like the agency is kind of like your main focus at the moment, or maybe where you get the bulk of your money at the moment. Is that correct?
Yeah, so I guess it's kind of like a seesaw type thing. When something's growing, something has to kind of slow down a bit, and then you focus on something else, then that's going to slow down. And just because of the increase in need and excitement for the full service, that's kind of where we've been focusing a lot of our efforts, and we honestly haven't promoted it at all. It's just been through referrals and YouTube. YouTube is sending me a lot of leads, and with only so many hours in a day, right? We can only grow the agency so much unless we have to hire more people and more people. And so that's why we do have different streams of income, because I would be maxed out over on the agency a lot quicker. And so we do have an education branch as well in my business where we sell products, digital products, courses, coaching. We also obviously have YouTube AdSense, but as we know, it's not that great. I do a little bit of affiliates, and I do a lot of paid speaking engagements too. Especially this year, it's been great because a lot of people are paying experts to come into their group and speak to them about their subject matter, what they're a subject matter expert in. And summits, online summits, are paying speakers also. And so I've actually generated quite a decent amount of income as well speaking. And so if we're pulling back to look at the different streams of income, it's the agency, it's the education side, my digital products, that would be the passive income, speaking, and some affiliate income as well.
But Trina, could you tell us maybe a little bit more, if you're comfortable, the percentage, the approximate percentage of revenue where you're getting from, like, okay, YouTube is less, right? And then paid is something, paid speaking gigs is something that really went up. So I'm wondering, what is the percentage? If YouTube and affiliates, maybe just like 20% of your revenue, and maybe the rest is like 80% of your revenue at this point, and maybe how that has shifted over time.
Yeah, I would definitely say at the moment, the agency and the course digital product side is probably pretty equal, because the agency does have so much overhead. We have video editor I'm paying, we have a lead strategist over there, we have a graphic designer. And so while the agency technically revenue wise makes a lot more than the education side, there's a lot more expenses that come out on that side. So I would say they were pretty even there. And then when it comes to AdSense and affiliates, probably around 15% of my income. But knowing that, we already have plans in 2021 to add even more streams of income, because we know how important it is to have these different streams of income, because again, we only have so many hours a day. And if you want to, make a certain amount of money each year, if you have a revenue goal, you're going to need to find different ways to make that. And instead of hanging your hat on one particular one, because if something happens and it all goes up in flames, you're going to be struggling. And so this is why, while I do have multiple streams of income, I'm actually looking to create a few more in the coming months ahead.
That's really awesome. I want to ask you a little bit about the paid speaking gigs, especially with virtual summits. That's very rare that I'm hearing that. So, like traditionally, those have been usually free. Like even during the beginning of the pandemic, a lot of speakers can't travel to in person, and so they were doing free, virtual summit talks and things like that. So, give us like one or two things that has helped you like position yourself to charge for those paid speaking gigs virtually.
I think it's all been built around kind of the authority that I have, not only showing up on YouTube, but the clients that I've had that were recommending me to speak. Like if somebody asked them who would they recommend, or who's doing their YouTube channel. And so it's really been me being on YouTube, being a different style educator, because I am a female, because I am a mom, and I look at YouTube in a different perspective, where how can I manage this? How can I create workflows and organize it so that I can actually make it happen? Since a lot of my audience and a lot of the summits that I am speaking for is for women business owners, they really want to have me speaking at their summits, and they're willing to pay because they know I can really provide their audience the value that they're looking to and connect with their audience. And so I think that's probably why I am getting this opportunity. But I do think it's something that's being looked at more in the online summit world, because they became so saturated in 2020 and 2021. The way to leverage your summit now is to make sure you're getting these high level speakers. And a lot of speakers, even within my, I have a speaking coach and a mastermind there, even those of us that are in that group, we will request that we're even paid to speak on summits now, because it is our time. And so I do think this is a new trend and something we're going to see more of in the future.
Yeah, I mean, I personally love that. I love that is happening. It takes a lot of time, and also I think it creates better quality talks, right? Just maybe it's an exclusive talk, or there's something special about the talk. I love that. Trina, you really seem to have this whole content and online business really figured out. You're present on YouTube primarily. That's how we know you really well. But you're also very present on LinkedIn and Instagram and engaging with your community there. So all of this is really, building your, like you said, your authority in your space, in your niche. So I just, it's just really impressive to watch how you are doing this. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on like how you are planning all the content, and how you decide what goes on YouTube, what goes on LinkedIn, what goes on Instagram stories, and, always continually driving your business that way. How do you do that?
Again, when it goes back to my expertise and why a lot of people ask me to speak, it's not just about YouTube, it's the systems and the workflows. And that's really what has allowed me to be on multiple platforms at once, is because back when I was about to have my second child, I realized I wanted to be off for 3 months as much as possible. And I had to be able to find a way to systemize batching, to systemize content creation, and to get it out. And so I realized I'm creating this amazing content for YouTube. It's value packed. How can I tweak it for other platforms? And so once I set up the system, the workflow, I created templates. I knew that I needed to sit down 1 day a month, film my YouTube video. Something that I learned later on, not that particular time when I was trying to plan maternity leave, but later on I realized I could just edit the ending of my videos and have calls to action specifically for Instagram or specifically for Facebook, because we know these platforms want engagement on videos. And so then I would just shoot my entire YouTube video. I would pause. I would shoot an ending specifically for Instagram TV, asking people to share this IGTV or DM me or, anything specific to Instagram, and the same thing for Facebook. And then again, it's just this system that we've put in place, the templates to make our Facebook videos in square format and the templates to make our Instagram TV in vertical format. And that's really how it all works. I just take 1 day to plan on my content, 1 day to batch it all. And I do have people helping me right now. I do have a video editor, so she's able to edit those videos. But it is really important because with the past 2 years, we've been quarantined. I've had kids home certain days that I don't plan to. And without having this system and this plan in place, there's no way I would have been able to keep up, because I was working half the amount of time that I was before the pandemic.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's good advice, because a lot of people are, just because there are so many different platforms, they're just taking the same video and putting it everywhere, right? That same thing. So I love that tip. Just take an extra few minutes and record specific outros for each one. Awesome. Go ahead, Alex.
Great. So Trina, we were just talking about how you modify your content, but it seems like YouTube is the place where you start, and that's kind of like where you became known. Now, I know that earlier you said that only 15% of your revenue comes from YouTube, but in terms of time, is that still where you spend most of your time? Do you consider it your key channel?
Yeah, 100% of my content starts at YouTube, because for me, I've come to the realization, why am I going to put my time on other platforms when they aren't searchable by Google? So that's the biggest asset to me. Google is the #1 search engine. YouTube is the second largest search engine. And I want to make sure that my content is being found. I want to make sure that I'm creating video content too, because we all know video is king on all the other social platforms. And so you're exactly right. I start with a YouTube video, and then that's how I filter out my content for other platforms.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Awesome. Well, Trina, we have a lot of affiliate partners, TubeBuddy affiliates that tune into this channel. So I would be remiss if I didn't ask you for some tips on how to grow your affiliate revenue, because you do have, your TubeBuddy affiliate, but you're also an affiliate for other brands as well. So, tell us a little bit about the success on that and how you have, generated that particular revenue stream. How do you get people over to watching your content and then heading over to the affiliate links?
Yeah, every piece of content that I create, if I have an idea for the content that I want to create, once I solidify the title of that video, I'm determining what is the goal of that video. What do I want that video to be? That could be help me grow subscribers on YouTube, because that's absolutely an important goal for me. It could be to get people on my email list, which is another important goal as well, or on a lead magnet. But another goal is affiliate links. Can I get them over to buy or purchase something that I'm affiliate of? And so when I do that, I'm making sure the content is really featuring the highlights and the benefits of why they need this particular thing, and tell them how to go get it. And because I'm creating it for YouTube, I can then share it on Instagram. I can then email my list about it. I can then put it on my blog as well. Some kind of best tips to get people to get over to your affiliate link is to make it a super easy link. So any affiliate link I do have, I put it on my site and have a redirect so that it is my name, trinalittle.com/, in this example, TubeBuddy. And so it's super easy to say, it's super easy for people to remember. And then another tip that I'm really seeing a lot of affiliate income from is using it in my digital products, in my courses. I talk about how I use TubeBuddy, or I talk about how I use these contracts from this particular lawyer, and I link that in there as well, because if they see this is how I'm using it and this is how I'm being successful on YouTube, they're going to be more likely to also want to use that tool too.
Awesome. Yeah, I love the custom URL. So easy. And you know, a lot of our other partners have done that as well. So that's something that's growing their affiliate revenue. That's great.
I think one of the great ones that I did with TubeBuddy that, oh my goodness, it's probably a year old or more, but I put on the thumbnail how TubeBuddy has saved me over 361 hours or something like that.
Yeah.
Because when you go into the TubeBuddy tool, it actually shows you that. And so my audience is always wanting to know, how can I save time? How can I get more time back? And so that one, because I was hitting on a major pain point that my audience is having, not having the time, that one did so well for me.
Yeah, I love that. And then, with YouTube specifically, how do you then figure out what video should I create? Because you create a lot of tutorial videos, how-to videos. And so one of the things, I'm kind of positioning the answer here a little bit, Trina, but a lot of them are not, for example, TubeBuddy videos. Like they will be eventually, but you don't position the title as like, this is how you use TubeBuddy. This is, you know, so you usually, you know, we'll put something. What I've seen is like, how do you get your first 1,000, you know, subscribers, right? So do you have a certain like sort of calendar for creating that type of content, or what's your mindset there?
Yeah, I plan 90 days in advance, so it's basically quarterly, and that way I know, am I launching something that month or that quarter that I need to back up my content to lead up to that? Is my affiliate having a sale? So the contract affiliate that I was talking about has a semi-annual sale, and so I can plan for that. And so really knowing what is coming up and leading for the quarter, since I'm only creating content once a month, I still need to know what kind of content needs to be created that month by having that bird's eye view for 90 days. And if I put TubeBuddy in my title or I put it on my thumbnail, my audience wouldn't really know what that is. And so it wouldn't help me bring new people to TubeBuddy. And so I have to think about, what is my audience really searching for that TubeBuddy is going to be the solution for? And so that's why I did the time saving one, because my audience is always looking for ways to save time. And then I introduced TubeBuddy. If I would have just said something about TubeBuddy, they probably would have just scrolled past it because it may not resonate with them.
Yeah, it doesn't get there.
Trina, that seems to be a good tip, right? You think about your audience first. What do they need? And then you make the recommendation, right? Like, you want to save more time. You want to grow your audience. These are the tools that I'm doing in order to do so. One of them being TubeBuddy, but obviously could be something else, right? But it all starts, and I think that's how you started the conversation, right? I serve business entrepreneurs and things like that. And that's actually not only how you create your content, but also your revenue streams as well, you know, calling it back to the name of our show here. So, you know, with that being said, Rob, unless you have anything else.
No, this is great.
Trina, this has been incredible. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge, your little tidbits, right? From creating the wraparound links to really think, you know, it's also the bigger ideas, right? Serve your audience, think about how you create some products for them and all of these other things. So now, before we wrap up, I'd love to, you know, for you to share with your audience, where can they find you? And where can they learn a little bit more about growing their channel and their businesses, or even work with you directly?
Yeah, so those pretty links, like I said, I have them all geared up for social media. TrinaLittle.com/YouTube is my channel. TrinaLittle.com/Instagram takes you to my Instagram, where I really love doing stories to share behind the scenes and making that extra connection with my audience over on Instagram. So those are some great ways to see what I have going on, some of my free content. Because I do talk a lot about workflows and systems, I do have my system available to purchase over on my website as well. And yeah, I just love engaging and answering questions and connecting with people over on Instagram. So that's probably the best place to find me one-on-one. but my channel is full of loads of information too.
I hope you enjoyed that conversation with Trina. If you did, please make sure you give this video a like and leave a comment down below, and check out these other interviews to learn more about growing your different revenue streams using your content and your channel. And again, my name is Rob Balasabas on behalf of myself and Alex Montas. We'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.